Indigenous, Native American series. I'm kind of doing a series of these.
I love it.
Nice.
Love it. I like your title too.
I'm glad you guys like it because I'm kind of iffy on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what something about it is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad you guys like it.
To find the hue of that pinkish reddish color just a bit, but don't take any of that black away because it's your signature and it's strong and great.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm glad you said something because I cut out for a minute due to my unstable internet. So okay, great.
There, I think we got well.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it comes.
Hopefully it'll fade out. Good. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say, Chris, that I love the way this looks so primitive. So you are achieving Native American. And I know you're going to say that you can't.
Great.
You're going to say you can't draw. That's why you've got these stick figures. But I think it works beautifully because of it being so primitive. It all, and then you get to see just the shapes and the colors. Good.
Right.
That was my goal.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Believe it or not, I did try. I put everybody's artwork into my photo editing thing, and I did bring out the contrast and everything here. I didn't want to overdo it in case you meant for it to be like this, but so here's next one.
Wow.
Yeah. This one really finished nicely, Chris.
Oh, thank you. I just was wondering if you guys have any suggestions with the bottom part, because I think it's sitting a little high. Or do you think it's okay?
What do you mean by sitting a little high?
The
They're
vase.
floating there a little bit, but
Yeah, it's
I don't
floating.
know, maybe just a bit of intensification of that purple, just a little bit. But maybe that line that
I also thought maybe bring a shadow in, a little bit of shadow underneath the first.
I think a shadow would be a good idea.
Or also, how you have on the bottom the yellow shape with the black, I think, and there's sort of a swirly line going around. Maybe bring that around just a little more. But
the line would be good. Yeah.
But not a full line, just a suggestion.
Okay.
Down here or up here?
Yeah, and then bring it, where you had your arrow first, Joan.
Down here?
And then over to my right. Yeah, over. Yeah, keep going. Bring it around a little more. Yeah.
Oh, bring that around. Oh, okay.
Because there's a suggestion of it under the black shapes, which almost look like stones or something.
Oh, yes, this thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, got it.
You could try that.
Well, I'll try it. It's
I wouldn't
acrylic,
make
so,
it really
if it
heavy,
doesn't work,
though.
I'll take it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it heavy.
Okay. I think
don't mess with the top. It's beautiful.
If this little part here were darkened, that would help a lot, I think.
Okay. Great suggestions. Thank you.
It's great composition.
Yeah. In fact, the one you did before, you see, this one is grounded because people are standing on this black.
Right.
But then this one, okay.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Okay. Well, those are all great suggestions. Thank you.
It's great.
Now,
really great. Love the palette. So interesting what you did.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Your colors are so alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was done for class.
This was done for class. It's just an organic watercolor.
It's so watercolor. It's
so
really
watercolor.
Yes.
you use the medium perfectly for this.
You really did.
Wow.
Yeah.
The wet on wet is really well done, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cutting out, so I couldn't hear any feedback.
Oh. Well,
It's very watercolory. We love it.
yeah, love the wet on wet and where the
You
colors
guys hear
come
me?
together.
yeah, you're fine.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, Laurie sent 4 things, and the very last slide will show you that the 4 of them go together. in the end like this.
They might
Mm.
be a little brighter than they are in person, but they're fairly bright.
Okay,
So
Wow.
so here we go.
this is my native. Funny enough that Chris and I were both working on Native American theme at the same time. We didn't know it. This was the last one I did. So just so you know, I
I
don't
love
care.
these.
Thank you. And the feathers, you'll see each one is called a feather name. The feathers were watercolor feathers that I had painted a few years ago when I was still learning how to play with watercolor. And so I put Dorland wax over them and then hand cut each feather out. Then I collaged the feather on.
Mm.
Mhm.
I
Mm,
found it. It's great. Great
Thanks.
positioning of it.
this here.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very playful.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good
I
flow.
had fun with this one.
Now you did these for jazzercise?
I
yeah?
did. Yeah, they're
Okay.
36-inch. Oh, it says so. Yeah, square. Yeah. This
Mhm.
one, the palette was a little different, you'll see, than the others. This one I used more burnt siennas with reds and orange, and I used a viridian instead of an aqua, but it seems to speak to aqua on this. And then
Mhm.
the other ones I used more orange and aqua as the base.
Okay. I think the reason I put this one first is because when you see the group of four, this was the first one on the left. That
Yes, it is.
Mm.
It just, they happen, it was serendipity, honestly, guys, that they all worked together because I did not plan it that way. I didn't mark the canvases or anything.
Yeah,
Oh. Maybe subconsciously you did, because when
Yeah.
Joan gave us that flash of all four in a row, it looked like a quadriptych. You know what
Right,
I mean?
exactly. Yeah. So
Good
this
job
one,
on this one. I love this.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I like this one a
Yeah.
lot too. This
So
was the
intense.
third one I did.
okay. And the little orange feathers right here. You know what I do like with this one and the next two to come, Laurie? This little
The collage piece.
yeah, it looks like a paper that you ripped, and you've used it in 3 of them, I think.
It is. It's from an article that was in the LA Times showing all the land up there and all the way out to the water, what was indigenous land
Mhm.
in LA County. So it's sort of interesting, I thought.
And I see you've got these look like a bunch of ants that are crawling up to the feather, and
Or buffalo.
You're my buffalo. Thank you.
they show up in the next 2 also. I think that's
Yeah.
really cute. And
I
what
had
you
just finished watching the American Buffalo series that was amazing that on PBS. That was amazing. If you haven't seen that, it's really worth watching.
yeah.
And
And
the sun just makes it. I'm sorry, Joan.
no, you saw this as a sun. I saw it as a spiral,
Mhm.
a pastel-y spiral. I think you handled that so well so that it doesn't jump out so much.
Thank you.
Good soft rendering.
Thank you. The green little rectangle, the greenish one there, was kind of a whimsical thing. I had my canvas near a window, and later in the afternoon, the light was hitting the canvas, and it had this reflection on
Wow.
there. And so I painted it.
That's very cool.
That's good. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, really nice work. The way you see your dark oranges or browns, what reddish browns. I like the way they come to life when you put all the little
The
texture
layers.
down
Yeah.
there.
Thank you.
The blending is beautiful because it's subtle, but
It
yet it's strong. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
great work, Lori.
Thank you so much.
You're really getting better.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. I'm trying. Learning from all of you.
I mean, your style seems to be going forward. So
This was
Oh,
the
wow.
first one I did. This is Blue Feather.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love that one.
yeah.
They all look like they're aerial shots. They could be aerial shots, or
Oh,
they could
yeah.
be shot
Mhm.
from the ground. I mean, there's so much suggestion of physical form here, and yet, I still feel like I'm floating above them.
Oh, that's
Good
great.
accomplishment, even if you didn't intend that.
Yeah,
That's how it
that's
comes off to
interesting.
me.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
The way your little squiggly lines bring it all together, it's just makes a lot of interest.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
They almost look three-dimensional, your lines.
Mm. You know, I use some interface paint
Okay.
on the blue areas and also over the blue yellow lines on
Ah.
some of the areas to bring it out a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I
It really
used the-
did.
I use the green blue interface.
Mm.
These are big pieces too, 3 by
Yes.
3,
They're
3 foot by
huge.
3 foot. That's a lot of paint, Lori.
I know.
A lot of time.
I had to
Gee,
stop and
goodness.
order more paint. I ran out of stuff to make the oranges.
Wow.
Well, you know, I'm predicting from all the things I've seen at Jazzercise that I'm predicting she's gonna get a few of these in.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Or plus,
If not all.
they follow a
That's-
theme. The theme is really nice.
Yeah. That's their style.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I think the last show, somebody, I think it was Conroy, got like 5 pieces in or something.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's a
Mhm.
lot.
Mm-hmm. And then there's one more. I don't know if you, there it is. That's the yellow feather. So that was the
Mhm.
second one I did.
Uh-huh.
What are you calling the grouping, Lori?
Big and bold,
Oh, okay, good.
because I had 2 other pieces to go with it
Mhm.
that
That's
weren't
right,
related.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to try to get 6 in just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will, you know.
Are you gonna take us all out for lunch when you get all 5 in?
I'll fly in.
First, I have to pay myself back for all the money I spent at Oceanside Museum of Art and didn't get into the Alliance show.
Joan,
One
could
of
you
the
do me a
things.
favor?
Plus these
when we're through,
canvases
could you show the whole list? Sorry, Joy, I didn't mean
Oh,
to
that's
interrupt.
Oh, yes.
Please?
Yeah, I wanted to see them together again.
Yeah, yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Thank
Mhm.
you. You
Zoom
see
in.
how it's amazing to me how they work together, even though I changed the palette.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I was going to do more, but I just didn't have it in me in time. So it may be enough.
Yeah. Very
I'm
nice.
so glad you like them. Thank you for
Well,
them.
good luck. Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
You're on the right track.
I have no idea where I'll put them if they don't take them. I'm already running out of floor space.
Buy a bigger house.
The house is big. Ooh,
Wow, Nancy.
beautiful.
Now,
Nice.
here's total
Beautiful.
disclosure. When
Nancy
Joan
said
decided
4 of
to
these.
put these in, right. I was down in Florida for 2 weeks in my friend's condo, and she bought it. She and her late husband bought it like 20 some years ago. Anyway, the previous owners had these 4 prints. They're on canvas, and they're, I think, 14 by 18, printed on canvas, obviously. But she had them in the dining room, and with the light coming in and the 20 some years or whatever, and humidity and salt, they had intensely faded to the point where you could hardly make out the images very well. And she was going to toss them, and we were going to go out and buy some new prints. And she made the suggestion. She says, do you think you could touch that up with your acrylic paints that I have down there? And I said, well, let me try one. So the first one I tried was the avocado. And, I went
Great.
over a series of glazes and just mixed palette on the side. And I wasn't even sure the paint was going to stick. I didn't gesso at first. I just painted on the printed canvas. And, it just made them come alive. So that's what I
Yeah.
did with all 4
Very
of them. And
cool.
They're
I
beautiful.
repainted
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Did you
Mhm.
antique the edges as well, or were they?
No,
like
what I
that?
did is they're actually that's a canvas that they're printed on. That it's again a printed image of an antique frame.
Uh-huh.
And
Ah,
so I
So
just
the-
did the inset, but on where the edges of the paper go to the frame, I did use brown glazes and burnt sienna glazes to
Yeah,
enhance that, old world
uh-huh.
kind of look.
Really nice.
great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So I felt
What
like
a fun
people
project.
restoring the Sistine Chapel. I was
Lying on your bed?
Well, Nancy, you've been away from California so long. This really, to me, looks more like a pear than
yes, it does, doesn't it?
does look
Maybe it is a pear.
I've been
It
eating
probably is a
avocados
pear.
every
Yeah.
day, and none of
Yep.
my avocados look.
It's an Anjou. Sorry about that.
Probably is a pear.
But
Mistitled it.
nevertheless, it's beautiful. I like the way this brownish, was it red and
It's kind of purplish, right?
red and green combined to make that shadow?
Yeah, the images were there, but again, they were just faded, totally faded from the sunlight. And so what I did is just, I picked up on the colors and then, kind of enhanced them a bit and added my own little, I like doing the leaves and the different green colors because that made them
Yeah.
really become, fruit.
Excellent.
Really
Thank you.
nice.
It's a fun job.
Yeah.
Really
And
nice.
the Pinot Gris
Oh, wow.
one, I really had to redo the entire background, and they started out with some pinks and some aquas, so I left it that way. And I just put a lot of dark behind some of the grapes, so they give a three-dimensional effect.
How
So
fun.
that was
Very
fun.
fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a fun project.
Yeah, it looks really great. I really like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Easy. I didn't have to think of anything to draw. You just paint, like paint by numbers.
Well,
You didn't tell me what these were, and they could
Those
be
are plums.
okay. I did call them plums, but they could have been cherries. But so okay, I took
Or olives. It could be olives. Well, no.
not
I
right.
haven't seen the painting.
Dentation.
They're like black plums.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That was fun. Ooh,
wow.
I love this, Joy.
who did this? Oh, this is Joy. Okay, I didn't see a
Wow.
name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fabulous.
Tell us about it, Joy.
Oh, yes. Then I took the photo from Iowa Union Station when my sister and I we travel.
This is the original right here.
Yes, that's
You-
right.
you
We're
zoom-
waiting for the train, so I took this picture.
You zoom in on this part, which is shown here. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
This is from the work from my watercolor class. Actually, this the painting I'm inspired by Chris' work. And Chris
Oh, thank
showed
you,
us
Joy.
and the still life. I'm very impressed that beautiful painting, watercolor. And Chris used lines and very smart. So I inspired from that too. So I just use this the line. Abstract for me is difficult. I always think about a lot and I
Beautiful.
cannot make it. So I just
I think you made it, Joy.
Yeah.
That's
thank you,
gorgeous.
Chris. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
In-
Yeah.
It could be a church. It could be an outside venue. I mean, it could be any. If you didn't know it was a train station,
Yeah.
it's your balance of colors are really lovely, and
Beautiful.
your line
Joy-
work, of course, is exceptional.
Well, this is the
You
first.
use-
This is
did
the
you use-
first piece I've ever seen you do, Joy, where there's an accent with all the line work, and I think it's a good thing that you are being influenced by some of Chris's work.
Yes.
The lines really bring this together.
Mhm.
I think for me, though, the only thing I think is that this area here is so stark. You may be finished, but I thought this could use a little subtle.
Yes, I put a very, very light color, but cannot show up after dry. Yes.
Yeah,
I will
Yeah.
put some.
but
That happens with watercolor. You think that the color's on there, and then when it dries, it's all gone.
Disappear.
Yes.
That is a strong focal point. I know the point that Joan is making, that because it is so bright, your eye just goes there. And of course, yellow is that natural attraction too. Maybe a couple more lines, without even adding any more color, just one or two little design element with a line or two, and might do the trick.
well,
Either that or leave it alone. It's beautiful.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little more color in this area, and maybe some of what you did here. You might want to just suggest some of what's up here, down here, just to
Oh, yeah.
get rid of that stark white stuff. But
Yes, yeah, you're right.
the
Yeah,
line,
because on the photo, that area is very strong light.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I just want to get some
exactly.
dramatic result, light and dark. Yes.
I wouldn't get rid of that light. I would just maybe throw a little bit of that aqua tint someplace
Mhm.
within that area, but without covering it. And that would, I think, balance it out.
But I'd like to see this line work in more of your work. The stuff that you do is very nice.
Mhm.
Yes.
Makes it
Thank
very
you.
Joy, are
interesting.
you working with a pen?
This watercolor pencil.
Okay.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Chris.
Did you, Joy, did you wet it first and then use a pencil, or was it dry?
Wet.
It was wet.
The
Okay.
wet. Yeah, dry is harder to get that result.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
you-
you for that hint, because
you
I
worked
have no
with-
success with watercolor pencil.
Yeah,
So if
did
you
you
wet the
wet-
paper first, got it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You wet the area first and then drew on it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Mhm.
See, we're all learning something from the Zoom.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, let's hear it for the Zoom group.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Beautiful, Joy.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think Linda is here. She didn't make it. So I told her I would save this for the next meeting if she wants to talk about it. It's very huge. It's a wood panel.
Oh,
So this is a different Linda.
Linda Gillen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and her husband's also part of the group. It's not the water pastelist. Yeah, she does lots of this kind of stuff, wood and mixed media stuff.
This is different than the pastel one. Linda.
Oh yes, completely
I see.
different person. Yeah,
Okay.
oh,
I
this
mean-
Linda's been in on Wednesdays for quite a while, but
Oh, okay.
the pastel artist just came last week for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
ah,
So I'm really interested to know how she got the mosaic in, and maybe
Mhm.
she can come in,
She'll let you know.
yeah, in January and talk about it. So now here's another person that I don't think Thomas made it. He keeps telling me he's coming.
Oh, Thomas,
Thomas is
so cool.
he's a character. He's a
He's
character.
great.
His drawings are fabulous.
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Wow.
He
Fabulous.
promises he's going to be here, so maybe one day he'll make it. This I like the way his line work. He must start like this, where it's very flowing and loose, and then fill in the rest. The rest.
Mhm.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Really nice. Now,
Yeah.
It
you know.
seems like he's,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. No, it seems like he's getting the motion down first by that loose sketch, you know,
Mhm.
the movement.
And
And then-
he's very quick at what he does. When you watch him work, it's really quick. And you watch him all the time, because while the meeting's going on, he's drawing in his sketchbook all the time.
Is he so these aren't drawn from life, but wow. Because
Probably
they
from his
look
head.
like he captured
Yeah.
them.
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know.
He's
Now,
been doing this a while as a cartoonist and
Oh yes,
illustrator.
yeah. I think
Yeah, he's very practiced. You can see.
Mhm.
now
Can
notice that he's up here on the
Yeah.
left looking in, because what I did, when you see the next photo, he's looking to the left, because if he's going to continue doing this, sending me all his artwork and not showing up, I'm going to have to be using this more often to show you who we're talking about. Here's the this is the one. Here he is, right here, looking the other way.
Wow.
Wow.
he got a
Cool.
commission. He got a commission from the county or somewhere to do the local surfing beaches,
Hmm.
and he's done 4 or 5 of them that he's going to submit
Wow.
to see which one they like.
That's
And they're huge.
terrific.
You can see they're pretty darn big.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
fantastic.
yeah.
So is that an acrylic, Barry? Do you know?
Yes, I think so.
Are they on panel or board or?
Canvas.
Canvas.
A lot of them are canvas, I think. Is that right, Scott? Can you remember?
Is that what?
Yeah, a lot. He generally uses canvas. I haven't
I
seen.
think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Board.
Okay. Oh,
Does
Okay.
look like this is a
look at the
board.
pirate down below.
That looks like board.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you show you go back up and you can see the 3-dimensional. You can see the top of that. I think it's the
Oh,
canvas.
yeah.
But
That's what I think.
is this who he is, Scott and Barry? This is him, right?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
taking a guess.
On Wednesday, we had to wait for a while to get into the room, and he was in the parking lot with one of his canvases out working on it.
I thought he was selling them out of his trunk.
He is like always.
Yeah.
He's got a pickup trunk full of them. Yeah.
Ah,
It's what really his passion is. So he's like, he can't step away from it, it seems.
Yeah.
Unless he's in the
Wow.
hospital. He's had some medical issues, but
well, you're almost the same thing, Scott. You can't get away from your wood. I can see you there scraping all and carving all night long.
that's it. That's what I do all night long. No, I do have a life.
Okay, well, Thomas, we hope to see you someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Ooh.
Oh,
wow.
Well, this is really old. I had my work. It's acrylic on paper. I did a whole series of these. Most of them were black and white, but I did this nice close-up of the tiger. I take basically, I think I used all Trader Joe's bags, crinkled them up, put them in a bucket of water, and then flattened them out so it gets some texture. And if my other
cool.
one's on, you'll see more of it. And how I like the way the paint caught on the crinkles. It came out pretty nice.
His eyes are
So you're
so,
painting on the bag? Is that what you said,
Yes,
Barry?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
oh, you're painting.
text.
Right on the bag.
They're nice thick nice thick paper. So
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah,
Why not?
nice work, Barry.
Yeah.
Very
they've-
nice. The eyes are amazing.
Mhm.
they've worn very well.
Uh,
They're old.
Ah,
Nice.
This is
Mm.
great.
There you
Oh,
could
that's
see the
funny.
texture from the paper.
The
So
oh,
interesting.
Very
bag.
cool.
how do you frame something like that?
I didn't put the frame in because I'm not a good framer. I just have a cheap black frame around them. I think I have
Without a glass,
a black frame. Yeah,
Mm.
but you don't have glass on top of it.
I do not.
It's better that way. I mean, I always thought that the only ones that should have glass on top are watercolor.
Yeah,
I don't know though.
You shouldn't put glass on acrylic. Because even
Oh.
though you think it's dry, I've done that once and it ended up sticking to the paint and pulling it off. So don't put glass on
Yeah,
acrylic.
This
that's what I always thought
ostrich
too.
this ostrich was on a sweater that my wife bought in South Africa one time, and I thought, oh, how cool is that?
Crazy.
It's cute.
Well, the
That's so cute.
acrylic itself is almost indestructible. That's probably why you wouldn't even need the glass. Acrylic,
But if you wanted glass, can't you, if you have a mat separating the piece from the glass?
Yeah, you have to have
that
it up,
work- That's what I've been doing. Okay.
especially with that texture, because that's quite deep. Some of those.
Barry, what you did with the
Yeah.
lips here, the free flowing lips, it reminds me of what Thomas did with his sketches. It really had
Yeah,
a really
Okay.
nice effect on the
Fabulous.
piece.
they come out pretty nice. I like them.
Yeah.
I like the way his head takes up the whole
Yeah,
picture. There's none of
Yes.
this, not a lot of stuff on top, not a lot of foreground. It's just, it's
Mhm.
there. It's
Mhm. Are you doing paintings now or sculpture, Barry? I mean,
I'm dabbling in both.
both. Okay. Very-
Fortunately, there's only one meeting in December, so I might have something in January.
Mhm. Okay, good. You've got so much talent. We need to see more of it.
mhm.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
stop.
There we go. Love this, Scott.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
This is
How
Tori.
big?
This is Tory pine with brass rods that were inserted into it, and it looks a little lot lighter in person. It's a light colored wood, and they use polyurethane, non-yellowing polyurethane on it. The like stripes on the left side of it are actually the cutting marks of the saw when they actually cut this piece of wood.
Oh.
Like 2 inches, it's like 2 inches thick. And I cut the hole that you see there. It's not a ball. I know balls are my thing, but it's actually a hole. And I did a series of 3 pieces that are in the shape of musical instruments, and they all have like 3 rods going through them to give the effect of strings. and it's on a piece of ambrosia maple, which is also very light wood. This photo that I took darkened it, but it's a beautiful. Both woods are just gorgeous woods, so they really contrast each other really nicely, and both of them are in the non-yellowing polyurethane, so they'll keep the natural color of the wood. So this piece is called Silent Symphony. So each one of the pieces has a musical name to it. So the first one was Muted Music, then Silent Symphony, and the third one is called Symbolic Strings. So the first one was out of eucalyptus. This, of course, is Torrey pine, and the last one is made out of walnut. So this was the easiest one to construct out of the three because of the wood is not that hard. Eucalyptus and walnut, of course, are very hard woods.
It's about 30 inches or more, isn't it, Scott? Top to bottom.
It's 26 inches high, 22 inches wide, and 13 inches deep. But the Torrey pine is actually 2 inches thick.
And this is an empty space in here?
It is. So basically, I used a hole cutter and then used a router around it on both sides, and used a grinder and then sanded down to make it nice and smooth, to make a nice, very smooth edge. So when you run your finger through it, it just feels really nice.
Did you have to drill the holes before you put these pins in?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that when you hold your drill, you wouldn't really have room to.
Actually, I have a bit that's actually about 12 inches long. So I put that into the drill. So it allows the drill bit to actually come down flush with the top of the wood, so that the angle that it goes in is very slight.
Okay, yes.
It is at an angle, but you can actually lay this piece flat. The rods would not stick out of the plane of the front of the piece. So yeah, that's always an issue, is how are you going to get those holes in there?
Yeah, without being slanted. Yeah. Really very nice.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, congrats, Scott, again. I mean, every time I turn around, he must have sold a dozen things this year or more.
Not really.
Great, congrats.
Not really, but it's I mean, selling the work is, to me, and I'm sure to everyone, is not why you do it. You do it because it's what your passion is, and building these pieces is so much fun. As you all know, it's talking to other artists. The creative process is so much fun. I think that's what the real gain of actually doing this work is really fun.
That's the reward. Yep.
This one makes me think of a conch shell.
Yes.
Yeah. And
But it's gratifying to know that people love your work. And I think I asked you a year or so ago, do you wear a mask when you're drilling and all that dust and everything so you don't inhale it?
It all depends. It depends on the wood. It depends on the day. I do most all of my really heavy sanding and grinding outside, and I'm close enough to the ocean. There's this breeze that blows it through the side of the house, so all my neighbors are getting all the contaminants.
Yeah.
And on some days, it's like you don't need anything. It's just blowing so hard. It's like having a fan there. So.
Did you stain it at all, or is that just a natural coloration when you put the polyurethane on?
It's the natural coloration. It's the natural color. Torrey pine is famous for having like grays running through the wood. And when you see this, it is much lighter than what